You gotta think about it. Think about it.
Hey guys and girls, it's been a while. So yeah, thought I'd better do a video. I've got no excuses. It's Good Friday, double bank holiday, which is always a good thing. And yeah, life's just been busy with like work, family stuff. I've started up another YouTube channel, very different to this one, focused around parenting and looking after someone with special needs, with disabilities, linked to our son, basically Finn. So just a channel on that, which I haven't done many videos, but where I have had some time, wrongly or rightly, probably because I haven't picked up many things in recent weeks and months. I've just been focusing a bit on just building up a foundation for that channel, and I think I'd forgotten how tough it is when you first start off in start a YouTube channel, and just building the views and getting the traction, and then obviously building a bit of a subscriber base, and going probably all out on social media to just try and do a bit of PR. So I know a few of you have subbed to that, which really it does mean a lot, because it's a completely different, obviously, set of topics to what we talk about on this particular channel. So yeah, big kudos. There's a few folk, probably a handful of people that commenting, watching all of them, and going above and beyond. So yeah, thank you. Do not feel obliged, but I do appreciate the support on that. But yeah, the retro ed stuff, crumbs. I think I've only done like one video this year, maybe two. No, I think it's one. I did one. I went to the Retro Realm. Maybe I've done two actually. Retro Realm, and then I did a video on early kind of pickup. Let's get stuck into it a little bit. I did a video on Flea 2 by Low Tech Games. So I did the Kickstarter for this. I did love the original, Flea. I've got it on like the Dreamcast, on like the Evercade, on Indie Heroes. I've met Alistair Lowe a few times. So I wanted to support this one. I did it. Yeah, like I say, if you want to see all the funky extras that I got with it, check out the other video. This is got the NES version here. Upstairs I've got the broader pack. I've got like the Dreamcast version and the soundtrack, the plushie toy. I went a bit all in, but only 60 of these particular ones, and this is number 30. So cool, signed by the dude himself. So really pleased with that. I've done that video, and then the other one, I did go to the Retro Realm, which was super cool. I've been there, crumbs, probably about 2 or 3 times in the new location. And Scott, Sega Zombies, he's just done a fantastic job. And the turnover of bits in that shop, things are like so it's busy. Stuff's like like not like crammed in. There's a lot of things in there, but I think he's done well with the space that he's got. It's not it's a fairly decently sized shop, which is great, and good location in the shopping centre. He's opposite HMV, so hopefully people popping in there that might not know about his shop will kind of see it over the way when they come out. Be like, oh, okay. So it was busy. It was nice and busy when we went there. So I went there with Rogie, retro gamer. So that was cool. Or should I call him the Retro Hulkster? I always get a bit rubbish with names. Retro Hulkster. So we had a good time. But again, check out that other video, and hoping to get back to the shop sooner rather than later. So God knows when that was. Was that March? Was that February? No idea. I think I've just lost track of time. I did spend a long weekend away, similar to what I did last year. Went to see my mate out in Spain. He has a little language school out there. We used to be like good buds, best buds when he was over here. But love, relationships and work kind of took him abroad a few times. So he spent a bit of time in Italy, and then met the love of his life, and then moved to her hometown in Spain. So they run a language school, which is pretty cool, and he does all sorts on on the side, as translating and bits. And that was one of the reasons I went over there, was he was translating for a horror film festival. I say a horror film. It's probably the main course of it is horror, but they do cover other genres as well, not just Spanish, film, Spanish directors, but far broader, and they get a good international, audience. Hence, he goes in and translates. So that was freaking awesome. So this year, the main person that he was translating for, who won probably the equivalent of the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I should say the festival, it's called the Sombra Festival in Murcia. It was John McTiernan, who directed, I don't know, loads of stuff of my childhood and my kind of teen years as well. So he did like Die Hard 1, he did Die Hard with a Vengeance, he did Predator, Last Action Hero, Hunt for Red October, probably a few other ones that I've forgotten, but yeah, an absolute legend. So that was cool, and we were right at the front. Me and my mate Ollie's wife were watching. Ollie was on stage, but translating as part of the interview, and quite like an intimate kind of little theatre setting. And it was just friggin' awesome. And he was signing stuff at the end, so I got a few bits signed, which was really cool. And his wife had come over with him and sitting next to her at one stage, and we're just chatting about stuff. But I think it was first time. I don't know if it was his first time in Spain. I think it was her first time in Spain. So we're doing a bit of a touristy thing. But I was just like, look, your husband has made some seriously cool action films that have stuck with me since I watched them first time round. So that was really neat. And we even I think it was the couple of days on my last day, we got my mate's wife got the paper. I'll probably hunt around trying to find the right page, but basically we made the paper, took a picture of the auditorium, and we were at the front. So yeah, if I remember, I'll chuck a photo in on this video. So that was cool. And yeah, we missed this particular session because it clashed with another film screening and another translation. But we were chatting with a few people. It was a fairly informal setting. There wasn't much like security, if any, really. Just a different, quite a relaxed atmosphere. Like so different to what we get, here in London. I mean, granted, it was far smaller affair, but it was a lot more chilled. So we were just chatting with people. And I was chatting with this guy and was just like, what are you into? And it turned out he was basically an illustrator, and he's done stuff for Marvel, DC. So it's Fernando, with butcher people's names, Dagnino. And I bought a few of his things. I've just not there. In fact, it's a bit cheeky. I got them on like Amazon, so I didn't have to lug them back in my little. So this is one of his more recent offerings. So he's done, Blade Runner. He's got some. What's he got in the pipeline? I think a couple of months' time he'll start to do the new story arc for Conan, the comic book. So I think it's probably been rebooted a few times, but I think May next month, or May or June, his story arc starts. So that's pretty cool. So I've pre-ordered that through Forbidden Planet, so I'll keep tabs. But yeah, absolutely like solid guy, and he was basically got a mate over from I think it was Bosnia, who runs his like a bit of a film festival and popular media, I guess, festival out there, and they were doing a bit of an interview, the two of them. So that was really cool. But yeah, had a super duper time. Trying to think what other stuff I've been up to. Went to Sandown, so the first time I'd been there, like the toy fair, obviously held at the race course. I think that's four times a year. So I went to that one. So that was really cool. Went with Nikki. Retro Bunga loves his turtles, so that was a great crack. That was really cool. and his mate Rich. So yeah, just Toy Fair on a huge scale. So much stuff. A few things which I probably, I respect them. I wouldn't kind of collect these particular items, but like Matchbox cars and Corgi cars, and all dinky cars and all stuff like that. A few like train sets, but I'm not really not into that. But a lot of kind of car related stuff. But these things went for like hundreds and hundreds of pounds, which was crazy. There was that, but then there was everything else really, from a lot of Star Wars, Turtles, yeah, the old classic toys. Probably some real rarities there as well. A few hundred dealers, I would have thought, based on the scale of the place. That was cool. We did early bird. I think it was about 15 quid. Crumbs went. I think opened. I've got 8 o'clock in my head. But again, my memory might fail me. But it was really cool. We knew they were going, but we met up with three wonderful folks and their respective. Someone brought their family members along with them. But Retro Chef Lee, he was there. The other Lee, or another Lee, Nerdy Geezer. I want to give him a shout out in a sec. The next item I'll show, and then Martin from the Hobby Lodge. So they were there going round. So we kind of every time we went round, we kind of bumped into them as we were doing our respective circuits. But yeah, lots to see. I'd go back. I think the next one's, it might be May time, might be next month. So yeah, may return to that. Just M25, kind of south of the south part of the M25, and it's kind of 10 minutes off whatever the bloody junction was. I'm being really vague because Nicky drove, which was a touch. I went to his and then he drove the rest of the way. So yeah, cheers for the lift, if you're watching. So that was cool. That's whilst I remember. So yeah, Lee Nerdy Geezer said, I want to ping you something in the post. So wasn't entirely sure what it would be. I had picked his brains around recommendations for like comic books, and he'd given me some stellar ones, including I think it was Batman '89, Superman Red Sun, and like a couple of other ones. And so I thought, maybe it'll be linked to that, and it was. So he sent me Berserker. Awesome series. I think it's done. Is it written by Keanu Reeves? Assuming he's got an illustrator in, unless he's a real dab hand. I suspect he's just done the story. But yeah, this is the first one, which is absolutely awesome. And I don't know how many there are. I bought like another couple. I don't know if there's 4 in total, but I bought another couple of volumes after this. So this is like volume 1. And yeah, it's without kind of any spoilers. I'm sure is it being made into a film or a series for Netflix. I think Lee might have mentioned that. I read about it. I think maybe Lee mentioned it. But yeah, a guy that's pretty much invincible, a bit of a warrior, and you see in volume 1 him go through the ages. Like he's immortal, but starts off pretty prehistoric, or then it goes into like medieval, and then up to say modern day stroke, perhaps slightly futuristic, where his powers of invincibility and just going berserk and just ripping into people. It is full on carnage. Some of this stuff is plenty of red. I think used all the red on the printer, but yeah, used as a bit of a weapon, I guess. So yeah, that is really cool. Big thanks to Lee. I'm sure you guys already subscribe and follow his channels, but I'll leave links to them in the description of this video if you don't. So please go and check that out. What should we do next? Yeah, I was up in, I can't remember what I was, Inside Number 9. I was up in, if anyone's seen that on the BBC, the TV series, which is absolutely friggin' amazing. They did I think they're still doing it, like a theatre show. They might be touring around the country. So I went to see them. Next, I stayed over because I can't. It sounds bad. I just couldn't be asked to travel back super late, and then trains are just a bit shitty. So stayed over. I was near like Leicester Square, so I strolled along to, I think it's the Piccadilly Circus one. There's like a massive Waterstones, like 7-8 floors, and one of the floors is just dedicated to, you know, comics, and it had everything in there from the old, you know, Asterix and Tintin, up to, yeah, more modern stuff. This one, and again, I'm going to butcher Uzumaki, which means spiral in Japanese, by Junji Ito. It's quite a well-known, I mean, I'm not really into this kind of stuff, but I think if you are into, you know, kind of, you know, like manga and anime related stuff, then it's a pretty well-known tome. But I think this is based on late 90s, was when a Japanese, like a weekly magazine, and obviously they've made it into a compendium. But Uzumaki means like spiral, and it's pretty fucked up, excuse my French. But this town is just taken over, and everyone just goes mad by the shapes, which are these kind of spirals that people start to see, and people, yeah, just lose their sanity like gradually, and all sorts kicks off. It gets pretty pretty surreal, you know. It's pretty, you know, extreme. But yeah, a good read. I picked that up. It's a heavy one, so that was quite cool. So yeah, getting into the old graphic novels and stuff, getting a few, like, you know, comics delivered through Forbidden Planet. Started on the Final Fight series of comics. I don't think it's long come out. I don't know if it started last year, maybe. Dick Tracy as well. But if anyone's got any recommendations, then please whack them in the comments. That would be cool. Trying to think what else I've been up to. Went to see Peter Kay a couple of weeks ago with the missus at the O2 in London. So he was really good. Looks very different in terms of his physique. He's lost like half his weight. There was like nothing to the guy. It was good. It was good. It's a lot of, I don't know, very kind of similar. Wouldn't say it was kind of rinse, repeat, copy and paste of what he did back in the day, but there's a few, you know, the old jokes and stuff, but then, you know, some new ones thrown in. But that humour of the style was the same. But yeah, it was a good night out. The show was amazing. The traffic and all that. It sounded really fucking old man. Like getting back, it took us about an hour and a half to get there. Normally it takes about an hour. And it was like 3 hours to get back with like traffic and accidents and all the rest of it. And I was having a bit of a moody moment. And I think the next day I was like, that's it. I'm never going to go up to London, you know, again for a gig. I'm going to go local, and I watch stuff on YouTube, on the telly, or stream it. But I'm sure that will change. But yeah, it was a crappy old journey. But Peter Kay, yeah, loads of kind of anecdotes. He's clearly gone up in the circles. There's a lot of references to various celebrities that he's rubbing shoulders with, and stuff like staying at Eric Clapton's gaff in the south of France, and so he's done all right for himself. But yeah, he equally he comes across pretty grounded. But you don't know, it's a performance. You don't really know, do you, how genuine all this stuff is? But he does come across pretty sincere. So hopefully he is. So that was cool. What else have I been doing? Been collecting a few like records. That's not really the main purpose of this channel. So I've just like picked up a couple. I might do like a separate vid if anyone's interested. Just going through the vinyl collection. So I started again for God knows how many times, probably August, September time, like collecting in earnest off the back of my mate. Actually, passed away 2-3 years ago. Time flies. It's probably close to 5 years ago. His wife brought round some of his records and just said, look, do you want these? And there was some corkers in there, a few bands we went to see together. But yeah, some of the old original, like, you know, Guns N' Roses. Got Appetite for Destruction with the original cover that's got the boobies on, which was, I think, withdrawn pretty promptly. So it's got some good stuff in there, but that's got me back into vinyl. Excuse me. The bank holiday wine. Been like a bit odd for a bank holiday. The weather's been like amazing today, so I've been outside for a chunk of it, putting together some some furniture, some garden furniture. Jesus, with like 100, felt like about 150 little screws and instructions. It's just like, yeah, estimated time like 45 minutes. I'm like, you do the maths. It's just, that's not going to happen. It took about 3 hours. I've got no fingertips. It's ruined. I've been like absolutely ruined. But yeah, outside having a few little drinks and stuff and using the bloody furniture. Now it's been done. So that was good fun. Back to the vinyl. So yeah, I've just picked up 2. This one, I'll just go straight into it. A Now album. Who would have thought? A Now album. Now 88. The reason I got this one is that I had one of the on cassette. I think it was like a double cassette. One of the Now albums, which would have been around 1988, because I recognise obviously a few of the songs on the back. So it's a bit cheesy. Got a bit of the George Michael, Father Figure, a bit of the Eurythmics, New Order, Blue Monday. What a cracking song. S Express, theme from S Express. A bit of Kylie, I Should Be So Lucky. Bon Jovi, Iron Maiden, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, Heart. It's just like, yeah, it's pretty cheesy but good. I'm not a massive. I was born late 70s. I didn't really get into my music. I'm more like Britpop and all of that stuff. Maybe a bit before that, like early 90s. So yeah, 80s, a couple of little cassettes and things, but I didn't really get into it. So it's a bit cheesy. It's not normally my standard listening, but I think nostalgia, like I say, having those cassettes has made me pick it up. One of my favourite albums, full stop. Dare I say, it would certainly be in the top 10, possibly the top 5. American band, Counting Crows. I just friggin' love them. A bit of everything in there. Some people say, oh, a bit like country. I don't think they are. More like folksy, a bit of pop, bit, light kind of rock in there. But yeah, love this one. I think I had it when it came out. Must be, is it early 90s? Yeah, 93. So I had it on CD. And the old vinyl thing I'm doing, basically, the principle is I should only be picking up vinyl that, real standard albums, absolute, like classics. Nothing too like mediocre. Just, I don't want there too much, filler in there. It's got to be about the killer. So I thought, I need to get this one in there. Beautiful double gatefold. And I won't get the discs and stuff out. So pleased with that. Got that all set up in the little kitchen diner by the PlayStation and by all the retro bits and by the Vectrex. So I'm making a bit of grub for the family. I normally whack on a bit of music. It sounds a bit strange. Sometimes I'll put on a film, might be like Ghostbusters or Top Gun or Goonies, Gremlins, all the classics, but just turn the audio off and just have it running and then just play some music in the background. I mean, I'm just frigging weird. It wouldn't be the first time. Let's show some games. We're here, aren't we, for some... It's meant to be a retro channel. So I did... The handheld itself is upstairs, but I did venture to a handheld that I've never owned, and I'd never played any of the versions up until getting this one. So I picked up, super cheap on Vinted, loving the Vinted at the moment, a PSP. Probably got the wrong model. I think I got the first one, which is like the 1000. Is it the 1000? I think it went to the 3000. There's the Go. I think the 3000's meant to have a better screen, probably a bit more oomph under the bonnet. But this will do me. It will do me fine. It was cheap. The battery was knackered, but I got one on Amazon for like near to nothing. Turned up next day, so that's cool. So it charges really well. I found there's like loads of blooming channels that do it. I found one that was quite clear in terms of how to hack the thing. So I've hacked it. I've got like Retro Arch on there, a few old classic retro-y games, and I've set it up so that you can really test it, but so I can download, pop some PSP games on the card as well and play them that way. But that said, I've got 4 games so far. although one of them, or two of them, have got a few, multiple games on them. The main game that I bought it for, because I haven't got an Xbox, and I know the Xbox version, the PS2 version, it's super pricey, but it's pretty cheap on the PSP. So yeah, Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast, and I think you can. Is there an HDMI out on the PSP? Maybe a bit crappy the output, but no, I played on that just on the handheld. It works perfectly fine. Never played this one, but heard loads of good stuff, mainly on the PS2 about the PS2 version. But I'm sure it's the same one, isn't it? Correct if I'm talking BS, but the Warriors for the PSP by Rockstar. So pleased with that one. And then Taito Legends, which has got, like, I'm not going to go through all of them, like Space Invaders, New Zealand Story, Crazy Balloon, Balloon Bomber, Legend of Cage, Rastan, Space Dungeon. So yeah, a few to keep me occupied, which is cool. And then I've got this already on so many versions, but it's wicked and it's fairly cheap. Mega Drive collection, Sonic the Hedgehog, Fantasy Stars, several, Super Thunder Blade, Alter Beast, Golden Axe. Yeah, just kick-ass. So currently, I've just got those four. Any recommendations? I haven't even looked at YouTube vids apart from doing that hacking one, but one around, top 5, top 10. I haven't even ventured with that yet. Cheers. So yeah, let me know. And what else? So yeah, films. I bought a film I can't actually play, and I saw James Retro Import Gaming pick this one up. I do love the film. I've got it in a few other formats. That's really not a problem. But in this format, is surely the most beautiful. So Dick Tracy on Laserdisc. Who knows? Maybe if I win the lottery one day and get a working Laserdisc player, that'd be quite nice. Yeah, it's quite cool. It's got the spine card. So yeah, cheers James for the inspiration on that one. It was jumping onto films, but there is a game hidden underneath. Miss Pac-Man. Loving the Miss Pac-Man. Went to, been there a couple of times, but Scott Marathon Gaming grabbed a Miss Pac-Man arcade cab, like an original. So had an evening, trying to beat each other's high scores, and he is the maestro. So I didn't quite get anywhere near his score, but it was great fun. So I've been playing a bit of that, and I thought I'd get it on the Game Boy Color. I've got it on the Game Boy. Thought I had it on the Game Boy Color, but I did not. So it's a fairly cheap, eBay job, about £5-6. It's nothing too crazy. Back to the films. Watched this one today. I haven't seen it in donkey's years. Perhaps I haven't seen it since it came out of the cinema. And I didn't find it as good as the first two, and I think I probably still stand by that however many years later. Batman Forever. Because I'm space constraints, I'm putting them into these little sleeves, and I can get like a gazillion in these plastic tubs, and it just looks a bit tidier, albeit there's a few plastic tubs. But yeah, Batman Forever. Don't really know what to. Obviously, it's not. I think it's produced by Tim Burton, but it's not directed by Tim Burton. It's like a Joel Schumacher one. So it's got all the action in there. Val Kilmer, I think, is pretty solid, pretty decent. Who plays Robin? Chris O'Donnell. I don't know. I found a bit cheap. Maybe because it's just 90s. Very like 90s in terms of his style, his haircut, his earring. I don't know. I wasn't loving it that much. The old Dick Grayson. I think Tommy Lee Jones was Harvey Two-Face. I thought it was spot on. And then Jim Carrey was that time where he was just doing the same Jim Carrey character. In fact, the missus sat down halfway through, and there was a fairly key Jim Carrey scene as the Riddler, obviously, and it's just is how he is in all the other films. It's like, yep. But it was pretty decent. But yeah, I think if I do rewatch one, it'll probably be the Tim Burton's, the 1 and 2. This one's a bit of an upgrade, but I haven't seen this film in quite a while. But Arrow Films, yeah, pumped out a 4K. I haven't got that many 4K films. True Romance, which is just a classic. I seem to be watching a lot at the moment with Christian Walken. Christopher Walken, what am I like? What's he been in? Oh my God, come to me. Something on Apple I've been watching. Maybe it'll come to me in a bit. But anyway, Tony Scott movie. This one, haven't seen this yet. Yeah, it's meant to be alright. I hope. Nosferatu. So I think it came out, was either last year or early this year. It feels like stuff just comes out on DVD or Blu-ray 4K like very quickly after it's been out in the cinema. But it has. It's got a good lineup. Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think is not touted to be the next 007. Willem Dafoe, which is super cool. So yeah, I'll let you know I get on with that one. A bit of a Superman kick at the moment. Again, upgrading. So Superman 2, I thought I hadn't seen that in quite some time. And I did the Richard Donner cut, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. I think he did he have a falling out and then he kind of left, and then someone else came in, reshot a lot of the scenes. So this has got both in the theatrical one, but then the Richard Donner one. It was super cool. The baddies in them are just, General Zod and all of that, just, phenomenal. So that's good. I think that probably brings us to the end. I'm just looking at. I looked down at my phone because I got a couple of like dates and things coming up. So not Sunday, not 2 days time at the point I'm filming this, but in a week's time, a week on Sunday, the 27th of April, there's the second Southend-on-Sea, the SOS Toy Collective fair, which is taking place. It's going to be in Hadley, Essex. I think it's like 10 till 3. 10 till 3, but there's an early bird at 9. So general admission is free from 10 o'clock. But if you get there at 9, it's £2. So still, it's nothing. It was really good last time, and same venue. Hope it goes well. I think they're possibly talking about looking at a bigger venue, but they're second time they've ever run a fair, and the first one was awesome. I think they're introducing some stuff this time, a bit of a one way system, and there was a lot of people in there before, so I think they're being a bit more careful with numbers and kind of staggering. Or allowing only so many people in there, but very much looking forward to that. So that's Sunday the 27th. Excuse me, 29th of June, next London Gaming Market. So I haven't been to that for an eternity. Say an eternity, about 6 months. 6 months. So we'll see how we get on with that. But quite looking forward to head into that. And it's bugging me now about the Christopher Walken, Severance, Apple TV. So I've been watching, Severance, a couple of seasons. I've just binged it, really. I missed it whenever the first season came out, probably last year or the year before. So literally a couple of weeks. It's not that many episodes in each one, but it's proper. It's amazing. And maybe I'm the last one to the show, and you guys have already seen it. But I guess it's probably set a little bit in the future based on what it's about. But that said, the streets, the roads, the houses look quite similar, quite contemporary. They don't look too far in the future, that's for sure. But there's certain individuals that work for this company. When they go to work, they get in this lift and they've got this like implant in their brain, and when they go down to the working floor, it's like they're innie, which is obviously the same body, but their mind flips to this other person who can't remember you know, their person in the outside world, and vice versa. The person on the outside doesn't really know what they're doing. They know they're working for this company, but they don't know what they're doing for the company, due to this chip. And it's just all, I don't know, it's kind of, there's bits in there where, you know, people, you know, go a bit crazy. They try and escape. Or there's people on the outside thinking, okay, what is going on? A bit of intrigue, trying to send messages. The same person trying to send messages between the two. Excuse me, got a tickle, but it's yeah, it's really good. Can't go into any much more detail because I'll be spoiling the hell out of it, and I'll probably be articulating it pretty dreadfully. But worth checking out. It's quite good. And then a few things on the old streaming. Adolescence was pretty good with Stephen Graham. He's an awesome actor, isn't he? Starting to watch that. Thousand Blows as well. He's in. But yeah, Adolescence was good. Recommendation from Champion 2D Rob, which you can never go wrong with Rob's recommendations, was Castlevania Nocturne. Again, I think that was on Netflix. That was super, yeah, super cool. Even if you're not into Castlevania, it's a great anime. Really decent. It's too much stuff. Right, that's probably does it. Not lots of pickups. At these events, I'll try and get some footage, and I'll try and get a bit better at the old YouTube vids and do something else. Get some more content out there. But yeah, have a good, I guess it depends when this video comes out. If it comes out early enough, have a good rest of the Easter bank holiday break. If you're in the UK, good weekend to anyone else that's out there in the broader world. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, one and all. See you later.